Have them both at the same time. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Dr. Mo and Neil. I think Courtney will be popping in today as well. So we are on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. You can hear Neil on TikTok and see Neil on Facebook and YouTube. And we'll be able to see Courtney if she can get on today on TikTok. So for those of you who don't know who we are, we run a practice called Active Medical Solutions where we do a lot of chronic weight management. Oh, there's Courtney. Chronic weight management and lifestyle medicine. Lots of, we don't take the place of your primary care doctor. We enhance that. Oh, hey, Linda. We are a complement to that, not a replacement. So speaking of that, this is not medical advice. This is TikTok. This is YouTube. This is Facebook. Please don't get your medical advice from social media. Find yourself a good provider that you trust. Lots of information here. But if you have any GLP-1 questions, we just got our first insurance approval for our practice for Zepbound. So that's pretty exciting. I know it's like 1 out of a million, but it's okay because you got to start with one. It's infinitely better than yesterday. So yeah, what's up with everybody this Monday? I like Boom Boom Belinda. I think that's the best username so far. That's fantastic on TikTok. I love it. You win the game. Granted, that bariatric bitch is a close second. Maybe not. She might have beat Boom Boom Belinda. I love people's TikTok names. It just makes me laugh. I need something so much better than AMS Dr. Mo. But so for those of you on YouTube and Facebook, you'll be able to hear Courtney, see Neil on TikTok. So go follow Neil, please. He's Neil Hyzak, FNP on TikTok. Please follow him. He's in there. Oh, hey, Kwana. I like when I see our patients. I'm trying to see them as we come up. Anyway, you can hear some people and see some people, and there's lots of things happening with multiple streams. So don't cross the streams.
Oh, all right. Sorry. Kwana's here. Hi, Kwana.
I know, right? There you go, Neil. Thank you. All right. So who's got questions? Who's got answers? I love to see our patients on here.
Oh, you're talking about like the Zepbound. We've got our first approval. It's weird that some pharmacies can get it and order it already. Some can only get certain doses. Last week, like Friday, HEB locally was still saying they didn't have it in their system, couldn't order it, couldn't do anything with it. Tell us to order something else.
Yeah, don't tell me to order something else. I'm ordering this specifically. Like, don't tell me to order something else because you know the other drug, right? And you won't fill it. So, I know it's like 1 out of a million, but it's okay because you got to start with one. It's infinitely better than yesterday. Did you just pull up TikTok, Neil?
No, I YouTube for some reason started. I got the.
Oh, you have the chat up there? Cool.
Awesome. Open, and then it started sound again. I don't know.
Yeah. It had something to say. CVS told me they could get it, but now it shows delayed. So I'm wondering, well, much like anything else, each pharmacy corporation has different like suppliers or regional things that they get the drugs from. Because again, there's like 14 middlemen. It's not like Eli Lilly ships it out and says, hey, here it is in the post office. Speaking of which, I'm still waiting for that fax from Novo Nordisk. As a random aside. They're yelling at me that you didn't send the thing back. I'm like, well, it's because you didn't send it to me. Shocking, I'm sure. Just to say that we received the Rybelsus samples.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll email them because I was going through some emails that put the one company we used to work for forwarded me an email from Novo Nordisk, like the local guy, like, hey, anything I can do for you? I see you.
Oh, really?
Listen a lot.
Nice. It's about time because the Eli Lilly guy stopped back way, way back and gave me a fake Manjaro pen to practice. I'm like, I need that. That's like right in my wheelhouse, man. Speaking of which, so just let me flip to my patient side. Today's Monday, right? So it's Manjaro Monday. Not really. It's Tirzepatide Monday, really, because right now I'm on compounded from Empower, and it works the same, by the way. Anyway, but I am such a weenie. I am such a wuss. I know. I love the grab and stab pen. Environment be damned. I know. Yell at me later. I really don't. I think cow farts are more important than my little pet. Okay. So anyway, talk about cow farts, right? Random shit. But this morning I did my 7.5 because listen, it's the freaking holidays, guys. I need all the help I can get. And I'm hoping that I can go to 5 next week because we leave at the end of the week for a cruise. So I'm like, all right, we'll do 7.5, 7.5, 5. Because then again, that gets me to the 20 that I ordered. So anyway, but yeah, and I just hate pulling it up and injecting it. I hate it. I am such a wuss.
It cracks me up that there's a guy in your house that can do that for you,
Oh,
and you're
that's a
scared.
hell no.
And you could put a needle in someone's like collect spinal fluid from somebody or someone's chest or pericardium, but you can't little sub-Q needle in yourself.
Don't you dare be a 10-year-old in my house and wiggle your tooth. I will poke a hole in your freaking chest. Not, it's not my chest. I don't care. Just do not wiggle that damn tooth in front of me. It's not happening. Or pull off a toenail. Okay, that stuff. Oh no. God.
Those are brutal.
I know. I'm like, God, can you go to the main? There's somebody who can help you there.
I'll do it.
I know, right? Oh goodness. Okay. Hold on. Debbie asked, "High microalbumin creatinine ratio. High. Like I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
If your creatinine is high, that usually is a sign of dehydration. Or if it's acute, like your BUN and creatinine, if they're going up together, it's usually dehydration. But if you go to thepatientside.com, actually, it's our podcast that Nikki and I did a basic lab review of a whole bunch of nothing. She did all that. She did all like the GFR, and she ran through like what all of those things mean. I can't remember what episode it is. I really need to list them out, but there's only like 5. So maybe less. It's easy to find, but it's on Basic Labs. But all of that's in there as far as kidney function is. But that's one of the things that these medications, of course, you see in the media. It can cause kidney problems. Well, it causes kidney problems because we let ourselves get dehydrated, and we totally do. I mean, look at my face. So I'm being better about it today. And no, I'm not sponsored by freaking anybody. But Body Armor Light is the drink of choice for me because it makes my back not hurt. Well, and it was originally free at the hospital. Thank you, Neil.
Still free for me.
Still free for you. You pay in blood, sweat, and tears. Listen.
Yes, you're not kidding.
Right?
It's a high price.
It's a high price. I'm just going to order from Amazon. Grandma Sue's. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I didn't mean to mute you, Grandma Sue's. I hit the wrong button. Oh shit. Oh well, hold on. Hold on. Can you read Grandma Sue's comment? Because I hit the wrong button. I'm not allowed to touch my phone.
It's gone.
Oh shit.
No, something about husband 6'1", 350, and Dr. Bone medicine, but insurance won't cover it.
Is good. It's FDA approved for diabetes.
Well, if it's blood work, so it depends. Like the only thing insurance. God, Grandma Sue's. I am so sorry. I did not mean to mute you. Hold on. Here, how about this? Let me follow you back. Does that help? Let me unmute. Yes, there we go. Sorry, I'm gonna figure it out. Don't touch your phone during a live. So insurance is going to cover what insurance is going to cover. They have criteria. So Mounjaro is FDA approved for diabetes, and the vast majority of insurances will only cover if you have a diagnosis of diabetes. If you have obesity coverage on your insurance, Wegovy or Zepbound are your drugs of choice usually, but some will cover off-label for diabetes, right? So it's we always tell our patients, please call insurance and ask them give them a list. And we usually use these 4 drugs, right? Sure, we can go through Saxenda and Victoza and Byetta and Biduron, and we can go through all of them. They are not as good as they're not, the drugs are not as good. Now, there are people who do lose weight on these medications, a lot of weight. But the reason why we always focus on these 4, right? Mounjaro, Wegovy, Zepbound, and Ozempic are because they are the ones that have been shown in the last couple of years to be extremely effective, like bariatric surgery effective. So And bariatric surgery helps a lot of things. A lot of things. This is some super cool stuff that I found out studying for the obesity med board exam. And no, I still don't have the scores back yet. Fred Flintstone is still grading them. As long as he grades me high, man, give me some points there. That's all I'm asking. Take as long as you want, as long as it's a B, not an F. Well, even if it's an F, I'll just take it again. Anyhow, at least I know what to expect this time. But anyhow, insurance is going to cover what they're going to cover, right? It's literally a table that they say we cover this, this, this. When I do peer-to-peer calls with insurance companies, it's me and a very tired doctor on the other end. Like, I'm talking emotionally bereft, because it's what they do all day, every day, is say, no, they don't have any obesity medicine coverage. No, they don't cover off-label for Mounjaro. No. Really, it's just always no. The peer-to-peer is, I don't even know. Well, period. I'm just going to stop there because we don't need to waste any time on thinking insurance companies. They're not going to cover what they don't want to cover. Same with my homeowners. Yeah. Insurance, it's like the phone, right? Your telephone is for the convenience of you, not the caller. Insurance is for the convenience of the insurance company, not you. All right, let's see. Yep, my insurance excludes weight loss surgery. More likely, I wonder, do they cover obesity medicines, or do they exclude all that? Because obesity is just a cosmetic concern.
Eat less, move more.
Right?
Oh my God.
My famous last words right there, literally.
Southern Belle, has Eli Lilly, ever set maintenance guidelines yet?
I don't, not that I've seen. Not that I've seen. But even if you look on the Zepbound website, it says that this medication can help you take off weight and keep it off. So I love the fact that it says that on the website. So they know, well, obviously they know what they're doing, right? They want you on the drugs forever. Of course they do. And I mean, I love Eli Lilly. Don't get me wrong. I have no problem with big pharma. My dad and I actually got in this discussion the other day. He's like, it doesn't cost that much to produce these medications. And I said, yes, but what does cost a ton is all of the research labs, all of the people, all of the years of studies, all of the publications, the equipment, the chemicals that are bringing in. I mean, everything from the reagents to, and we have to do these in the US because we have to do what we have to do. And yes, we do in fact fund the rest of the world. That's why it's cheap there. They don't have to do any of this research because their governments don't overregulate the shit out of everything. But why do the governments overregulate? Because of patient safety, right? It's like a double-edged sword. You're going to bitch that medications aren't safe. And then if you want to go the less regulated route, what is that? That is the compounded pharmacies. Sure, they don't have FDA. Well, they do, though. I mean, so I don't even know what the, anyway, but they don't have the large company umbrella. But you pay for that large company umbrella, right? So, okay, soapbox. There you go. I'm off.
Southern Belle said her doc lowered her to 2.5 for maintenance weekly and feels like she's taking nothing.
Oh yeah.
From Mochi. I don't know their standards.
My head hurts.
I know we don't have like a company set standard. We have a very individualized practice, and we're going to dig in with you and find out what works for you. Mm-hmm. And just because you're in maintenance doesn't necessarily mean. I mean, I've been in maintenance for over a year. Hadn't lowered my dose.
I had to go up.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting. So if you're on, say you're on lisinopril 10 milligrams every day for maintenance of high blood pressure, right? You know what? I think we're going to lower you to 5. Does that make any sense to anybody? No, 10's controlling your blood pressure. You'd keep somebody on 10, right? I don't mean to be an idiot here, but it seems pretty straightforward to me. 10's working, stay on 10.
Yeah, I mean, we have patients that are on 15 for maintenance. They're not losing anymore, you know. And I have patients that have dropped all the way down to the lowest dose, and they're taking it every like 10 days.
Yeah.
You know, just to kind of give them that control. It's just, it's so individual, and it doesn't matter if you're a really big guy or a small woman. It's individual.
Mm-hmm.
If 2.5 isn't your dose, 2.5 isn't your dose. It's time to, you know, go back up and find what is your dose.
Well, then it sucks because you're paying money for the 2.5, like a shit ton of money, right? I mean, well, you're paying money, okay, and it's not working. like you might as well be taking nothing. I mean, you put me on 2.5, my food noise is going to be through the roof. I'm going to be a pretty much non-functional idiot.
Oof. What state are you in, Southern Belle? She was told no. She asked to go back up and was told no. Ooh, she went from 10 to 2.5. Ooh, that's rough.
God. Give me all the chocolate, man. All the chocolate.
Yeah.
Give me everything. Just give me everything that's not nailed down.
There's no, wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. Like,
yeah, no, we bring them down pretty slow.
My provider's on the call, Neil. We did add on some, we added on some additional medications to help with just a bit more appetite suppression, a bit more food noise, and we dig in.
I bet I know why they didn't raise it. Because they standardize their price across. So the more lower dose patients they have. I hope not.
Yeah, I hope they're not basing their medical decisions on that.
I hope not. Yeah. So the way AMS works. So if you're new to the channels, I'm Dr. Mo. I'm here with Neil and Courtney on a bunch of different channels. I'm not going to go through that again. Everybody wave, say hi. And we run a practice called Active Medical Solutions. Ashley's on here too. You just can't see her face. So I'm like, she's on here. She's just running the show as usual. Boss of all things. So the way we do things at Active Medical Solutions, we are a medical practice. We take your money. We take your money for medical care. We take your money for the pharmacy care, for the prescriptions that are compounded, because we have accounts with them and we can get drugs cheaper than if you were to pay them directly. So we take your money, we give the money to the pharmacy, we give the money to your provider, we pay for support staff. It's pretty simple, straightforward. And that's why if you're on 15 milligrams of Mounjaro through us, or the tirzepatide equivalent, I don't know if we can call it that. Anyway, the tirzepatide equivalent from a compounding pharmacy, if you're on 15 milligrams a week, you will pay more than somebody who's on 3 times more, actually, roughly, right? Because the pharmacies base the price on dose. We don't set those prices from the pharmacies. We just collect money, pass it on, collect money, pass it on. And now, if you're on brand name, it's the same price across the board because you pay that at a regular pharmacy. And that's the way, like, Eli Lilly does it. For Zepbound, it is $10.63 a month. Period. I mean, granted, you can go to GoodRx and maybe get $25 off wherever, get a savings card, get an e-voucher. The unicorn, as Bourbon RX called it, the unicorn e-voucher. We have not encountered one of those. Maybe somebody did, but it's like a random pharmacy puts it in and we don't know what pharmacies. Walmart apparently is the best, but I don't know. I don't, like, literally, it's a mythical thing. But the way some companies do it, like, or if you go to a med spa, everyone gets charged $400. They take that $400, and I'm going to use this word intentionally. They take that $400 and they split it between providers, the drug cost, and support staff. Okay. We don't do it that way by design. Our legal team says don't, so we don't. That's the short version. 24/7 support with AMS. I've recommended them to family and friends. And you, Dakota, are amazing, especially because of what you do for AMS. Thank you. Dakota helps us out on appeals info and stuff. So thanks for showing up.
So I'll get back into this week with so Southern Belle. Her BMI is 22. I'm assuming that's why they don't want to lose any more weight, but she went back up weight. So we would stay at a dose that maintains that weight, especially if you're done losing. We just need to maintain. We have lots of patients, yourself, that BMI is around there, and that's okay as long as it's within a normal BMI. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, if I told you, so Neil's my provider as well. Neil. Okay, Neil and Ashley are kind of running the whole shit here, but no, I mean, if I were to tell Neil, hey, listen, I just want to see if I can get down to 108 pounds, he'd be like, he first of all, he'd laugh at me. I can't even say that with a straight face. Jesus, I can't even say it with a straight face. But he'd be like, what the hell are you thinking? He'd probably call me a dumbass and then be about it. But but he also sees my cravings. He sees, like, how I'm still trying to rewire. I'm still trying to improve my diet quality, improve my habitual eating patterns, which is key, right? So, and I fluctuate between 5 and 7.5 around the holidays. I think I'm going to give up. And unless I'm on vacation, I'm doing 7.5 for like 3 months. Thank you, Carrie. Appreciate it. Love it. Thank you. Pam asks, how long is it usually for the compound pharmacy to send out the next injection if sent to them on Friday? They're not open over the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know why I should bash people for that. Nobody's open on the weekends except for like us, but that's not the point.
I don't know. If I was a compounding pharmacy, I would work 7 days a week, 2 shifts if you want to. I mean,
right?
yeah.
I would too. But so they will get the, if we send the order to the pharmacy on, even regular pharmacies are open over the weekends.
Yeah.
If we send the order on a Friday, they will usually, well, it depends. It depends on the pharmacy.
Yeah, I think Empower and Axtel are pretty quick, like 2 to 3 business day turnaround time, sometimes a little faster. And then I think SLC is like around a week. They've really sped up when they were at like 2 to 3 weeks. And then we have other ones too, but their times vary, but they're all relatively quick now. No 4 to 5 weeks anymore.
Did you see what Southern Belle said?
Yeah. She's in
I feel
Kentucky.
like they don't care now.
Mm.
I sent a lot of people to join Mochi. I love Myra. And you know what the thing is? I mean, Myra owns it, right? Runs it. And I do love her stuff. But when things get big, things get lost. And that's the one thing we absolutely have to make sure of, is that doesn't happen. And we work really hard on that.
I wonder if it's a protocol that they have where they, once you get to a certain level, they have to drop you to the lowest dose, or if it's a provider discretion.
I think it's probably protocol driven, because they bring in providers. See, we bring in providers. Well, okay, we have 6 providers, period, end of story, period. That's it. We're not getting any bigger because I brought in all the people that I trusted. So, period. Anyway, like we don't, I don't know. I don't know. We do things a certain way at AMS, and we choose to do it that way. And that's why I talk about it. So, okay. Somebody on Facebook has a comment. Can you guys, I don't know who it is, cause I can't see the names on Wave.
It's Yesa.
Oh, hi Asa. Okay. Hey.
I think I'm saying it right.
What'd you say?
I think I'm saying it right.
Yeah, I know. I hope so. Sorry, I've been here in the group for like 4 months. Can y'all tell me how that works? I called my insurance company already. My insurance covers Mounjaro and Ozempic. I have a copay, but they told me that tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I don't understand about the tiers. So if they say they cover Mounjaro and Ozempic, my first thought is they cover for diabetes. So you've got to call them and say, what are the clinical criteria for Mounjaro and Ozempic coverage? If they say you have to have diabetes, well, shit. All right, fine. And then if they say, well, we can't give you the clinical coverage, and it needs a prior authorization. Well, what information on the prior authorization will be covered? They'll usually give you clinical coverage. If they don't give you that, call back.
Well, that, and you can message us, and we can give you like a list of questions to ask them. Sometimes they'll answer them, sometimes they won't. So we're gonna have to list our state.
Linda said she'd send her to Nikki, but so Southern Belle, did we find out what state she's in?
Yes. Kentucky.
Oh, hence the Boston Sky with the KY at the end. Dr. Obvious here. I'm all good. So if you are interested in changing providers, Nikki Baldwin will take care of you. You can go to My Telehealth Connect and get her on Push or Hamilton Telehealth and get her private practice. You can do either one. She's just building the private practice. She's going to do both fee for service and subscription model as well. And if you want to check out Nikki, we have the patient side is a podcast with Nikki and I, so you can get care with her. Sorry, I got all kinds of.
No worries. I
What do
threw our
you
website up there. If anybody, is wondering what states we have, it's like right on our front page. You can kind of see what states we cover.
What states do we cover, Neil?
Ooh, Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Indiana, Miami, New York, Ohio, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, and Wisconsin.
Miami, Ohio, and in Florida. We'll do both.
What's that? Did I get something wrong? Michigan.
Michigan. That's hilarious, Neil. You said Miami, but we'll do the Miami in
Hey,
Florida
Miami
and the
too.
Miami in Ohio, either or.
And Michigan.
And Michigan.
Yeah.
And Michigan. How much does a compound cost with us? If you are interested in going with us, we have we keep all of, because it changes, the pharmacies change their shit all the time. So we have sheets based on your state, like infographics. I say sheets, right? Because I'm old. Infographics with our prices in our private patient community. If you're in one of our states and you want to go with us, go to AMS Telehealth, click Be a Patient. We do not charge you until you say, yeah, let's go. You get into school, we give you the prices, we discuss things back and forth. It's like your initial consult, and which can be back and forth for freaking a month if you want. It doesn't matter. We're good. Is at no charge. We don't charge you until we do need a chart created on you, right? So we need your ID and all that other crap. Like when you walk into a doctor's office, you get a clipboard. You got to fill out the AMS clipboard so we get the chart done. And then we start talking back and forth. You get all the prices. You're like, shit, your crap's expensive. Screw you. I'm out. Okay, fine. Whatever. Or you guys are crazy. That too.
Alicia was saying her doctor's office had taken a week to submit a PA, so she hadn't gotten the prescription. Insurance companies make it sound like the PA is like this mythical, magical, like press a button. They're like, have your provider just go to this website and just press this button. It is so much more involved than that. And they do not make it easy. Almost always the initial response is going to be no, unless you fit very specific clinical criteria, and then there's going to be an appeal process. But they always make it sound really easy to the patient. Or one patient sent me a snapshot of what their website said, their insurance company website said, and it said, this may be covered under certain criteria by, if your doctor notifies us of certain criteria. I'm like, that's what we have to find out, is that certain criteria. We have to find that out, because I can notify them all day long, but if I don't know what they would like to hear, I don't know if we're going to be able to get you to fit that criteria if you don't have those conditions. So it always sounds easy. It is not.
And we won't lie.
No.
Some providers out there will lie. We won't do it. Sorry. No. Lipo B and C injections while taking a GLP-1. That's usually Neil's question.
Absolutely. We have lots of patients on them. Some patients absolutely love them. Gives them like a big boost in energy. Makes them feel better overall. Some patients get them and like, I didn't feel anything, but it's we have a lot, and the majority of patients like them. So absolutely, they're worth a shot.
Literally. Yeah, so we do not. So any states that we are not in for Cheyenne, you can go to Nikki Baldwin, unless you're in Pennsylvania. They're still screwing her over with their third set of fingerprints. But any other states, you can go to My Telehealth Connect. And so you can go to My Telehealth Connect, or what is it? Hamilton Telehealth, to see Nikki Baldwin. And the reason I send people to her is that she's an individual person. She's a nurse practitioner. She's an individual person. She's not a big company. She has a bunch of support staff, but she runs the show. So that way, and plus I trust her, right? So she's a friend. She's a colleague. I actually met her in this space. I have never sat in the same room as she has, which is kind of fun. I only know her through here, even though she's from Florida. I honest to God cannot remember how we even connected. But I do send patients to her because I can say, listen, I sent you, I sent over so-and-so, or, if you see these people, she takes care of my cousin for me because he's in a state that we don't serve. That's why we do not, speaking of which, I'm using this term on purpose. We do not get any kickbacks from sending patients to any other practice. That word is used by intention.
No, we just, help the patient out. Like, that's basically why we're here.
Yeah, we got to get people taken care of.
If you go to a resource that we know will take good care of you.
Zepbound versus Wegovy. For the vast majority of people in the studies, Zepbound / Mounjaro / tirzepatide is a superior drug than Ozempic / semaglutide / Wegovy. That does not mean it is best for everyone. Some people have better results on semaglutide. Some people have just fine results, either one. So again, like anything else, like Neil said earlier, it's not about, like, you can have a really big dude on 2.5 and a 145-pound woman that can't lose a damn pound on 15. So they do eventually. I just think they need more metabolic repair, and I think women metabolically are a disaster as a general rule. We're just kind of a mess. It's fine. I just think the hormones are a big part of that, And I just think the interplay should not be taken lightly. So we serve Arizona. Sorry, I just saw that. We serve Arizona. So yes, I know someone intimately who serves Arizona. Okay, not intimately. That's creepy. Closely, wrong word. I don't know.
She's down on your screen. I can see her.
Right? Yeah, I know, right? That was super creepy. No, yes, Alicia. I thought it said Alicia, and I thought it said Illyria, and I was like, oh damn. I know, I got all excited.
Me too.
No, we do not serve Illinois, but Nikki does. So go to My Telehealth Connect or Hamilton.
Something. I put My Telehealth Connect in the chat on.
Yeah, it's close enough. Just go to My Telehealth Connect. Yeah, that's her. That's been her that's the 5-year-old business. She is just going into private practice because some people like different subscription models. If you go to thepatientside.com, you can hear us talk about the different models as well. Speaking of which, we are also deciding to see patients on the Push platform again because they are starting to approve our licenses again. So if you want to see me on Push, you can. Partly that's because the old links are all out there on social media and I want to take care of people. So, and just some people like that platform better, even though it's more expensive. So whatever, whatever. Try to keep the patients happy. We're trying. We try to keep everyone happy. And let me tell you how horribly that works. So how do we get started? I've mentioned Nikki's website like 14 times. Have I mentioned ours? Not freaking once. Brilliant. AMStelehealth.com. It's actually in my bio up top.
It's in the chat.
Everywhere it's in the chat. Thank you. But AMS for Active Medical Solutions. Hey, look, new hoodie. I don't like the way it fits, by the way. I'm pissed.
I like it.
It's actually more comfortable than I thought it was the first day I tried it on. I was like, I'm pissed. I wanted a thicker hoodie. But anyway, whatever. But amstelehealth.com and click Be a Patient and come see us. Say hi. And like I said, if you get there, you're like, no, I can get it cheaper through my Aunt Mary's doctor over on 4th Avenue, then I just go in and they inject me every week. Good luck. Sorry. No, I'm sorry. We have some super sketchy stories from patients. It's entertaining, to say the least. Can I talk skin reactions at the injection site? Hell yes. We have had patients run the gamut, man. We have had patients where, so a friend of mine, and I'll rat her out because it's not a HIPAA compliant space anyway, but she's a nurse, right? And for the first 7 months on Mounjaro, she would inject and get this red spot that was like half her abdomen. I know this because she showed me in person. Look at this one every week, And I was working a lot more clinically at the time, so I saw her almost every week. And she got this huge red spot. And then after about 6 months, 7 months, it went away. So not the spot itself. It would kind of get a little better, but it would still be pretty big. And I was like, do you want to stop? She's like, hell no. She's like me. She has a shit ton of food noise and it's not going. It's there. The neural pathways have not rewired themselves. Are they going to? I don't know. They just haven't yet. Some people have told me, no, I was on Ozempic for 1.5 years, and then finally I had no more food noise. I'm like, God bless you. Maybe that's a thing. I'm at 1.5 years and I'm still a disaster. So, but it is thought to be due to these small localized reactions, right? Not medical advice here, but if you get trouble breathing, hives all over, that's a freaking allergic reaction. That's not a localized reaction. That's an allergic reaction. Get to the ER. One way or the other, 911 or just 911. Just do that. All right, let's We are all emergency medicine trained, so we freak out at shit. But period. End of story. I am bad with that. So, but it is thought to be due to antibodies to the medication. It doesn't decrease the effectiveness of the medication, but it will cause this localized reaction in some people. About a third of the population had it in the studies, and some had it with the placebo. So I don't know what to tell you.
Someone got red spots, didn't get them the first 6 months, but then they started happening after that. When I used semaglutide, I'd get them occasionally. Sometimes they would turn red, and they were usually pretty small. Sometimes they itched, but they didn't turn red. It was really weird. Had a patient recently who she just did one day, and then all of the spots that she had injected turned red, like weeks after she had injected. It was super weird.
I don't know.
And so someone did just comment. So, they've been having the spots, and she's like, I took my medicine out. I left it on the counter till it warmed up. She said 4 hours, and then injected, and then no red spot. So I don't know if maybe the cold maybe exacerbates the problem.
But I wonder if it's like the cold agglutinins, though, right? What if it's like the cold agglutinins, like with the monospot test?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's literally because it was cold?
Yeah,
it could be.
So I think anybody, I was injecting when cold. Yeah, see if you can leave it out for a little bit, let it warm up to room temp, and see if they go away. Because that's what I was going to start telling patients to do. Let's give it a try and see if that's a simple fix.
God, if that's a simple fix, I'm going to feel like an idiot. That's all right. I've only felt like an idiot like 4 times so far today, so it's good. It's good.
Have you ever seen the local reaction progress to anaphylaxis?
Nope.
Me neither.
No, we have not seen it. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but we have not seen it.
I have never seen anybody come in the ER for it.
Yeah. So I was going to say, I have not seen anaphylaxis in the ED from a GLP-1. I see I see 20 patients a month, so I don't really count here, but
I saw 20 yesterday.
See, it's the immediate stress. It's like ice cream headache when I get stressed like that. It's like the immediate, holy shit, that sounds horrible. Herpes, Neil, herpes. There's a story behind that. And just so I don't throw us both under the bus, I joke because I don't joke. I have this existential crisis very often because I love emergency medicine. I absolutely love emergency medicine. And sometimes I feel like I miss it. I want to go back. I want to go back to the traumas. I want to go back to the things, I say this, right? Just ask me after this weekend. And I want to go back to working more in the ER and because it's like the ex-boyfriend who's really hot. And Neil once said, it's the ex-boyfriend. He wears a Letterman jacket and he has herpes and he can't hold a job. Don't go back. So we're just going to call him herpes. It's like the Greek god of STDs.
It's not bad if you work I worked 1 and now have 5 off. I can do that if I can keep that pace up.
Oh, thank you, Pam. I'm in Arizona, just started. Very simple and very responsive. That's our goal. Make it simpler and then make it simpler. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I hear from patients with interviews is we're so responsive. They love how fast we get back to them. It's a smooth process right now.
Knock on something, for God's sake.
I'm knocking on drywall.
We're all knocking on everything. There's a stud back there somewhere. Oh, Lord. Okay, so if you're just coming in, we are... I'm Dr. Mo. I'm with Neil and Courtney, who are nurse practitioners with me at Active Medical Solutions. Ashley's in the background, running the shit. Let's see. Oh, come on. Sarah said now she can't get it because I'm at a healthy BMI. Chronic weight management. Is it your doctor or your insurance? I can't help insurance, but if we can find you a provider who will do maintenance. Why do people not do maintenance?
Well, after you get to maintenance, you should just eat less and move more.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that doesn't work. She has food noise. Oh, yeah, that's why we still need to be on the medicine. Yeah. And whether it's if it was an insurance issue, worst case, it's, we moved you'd move to compounded.
Yeah.
I mean, the goal isn't to lose weight more. The goal is to keep it off.
I did a live the other day. I don't know when it was. And I had a patient tell me, they're not patients here, right? This is not medical advice. This is not legal advice. This is us shooting the shit. But I had someone on social media say, finally, somebody who understands. I'm like, yes, which is why I started doing this in the first place and then dragged all these other people with me. Um, sorry, not sorry. Because, well, it's all right. It's really Courtney's fault or it's Reed's fault. Let's blame Reed. Because he started the whole shindig, really. But that's just it. Like if you study a condition, it's very different than being mired in said condition, right? Now, I also have the absolute gratitude and gift that I never hit like 250 pounds. I'm very short. My body, I might have topped 200. I don't know because I told my gynecologist, don't tell me where I am because I stopped at 192. Because I don't know how bad it got because I was binging very badly in pregnancy. Um, so bad in the beginning that I'm so sorry I'm laughing. This isn't funny, but I do struggle with binging. I have since I can remember. But my husband said the first trimester because I was gaining so much weight. He's like, I'm worried you're going to get gestational diabetes. And I said, I'm worried you're going to die in your sleep. You're going to screw with the pregnant chick? Really? For real?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Anyway, so yeah, but it was bad. It was really bad. It was a disaster. Okay, let's see. What can I use for training? Muscles in one leg are killing me, but I'm still trying to be ready for my 5K. Strength training. You got to do some strength training. That's the key, right? So on days you're not running/walking, or the days you are, 2 to 3 times a week. And the tough part is, right, we can't use our extra body weight anymore because it's gone. So we actually have to strength train with more than body weight. Unless, of course, you're doing upper body strength with me because it's really, really weak. I got these puny little muscles.
You can still get even lightened up. You can still get a decent workout with just body weight.
You can. You just have to do more reps, right? Because it's all volume. It's cumulative volume. So you do more reps, so you get a burn, and you're good, right? Ask Alan Aragons what he says. He's our fave. My body is very weak and achy on the shots. 2 things. That was not peace, right? It's not a gang sign, not peace. 2 things. Hydrate. This is key for me. If I do not maintain hydration with electrolytes, I feel like I have the flu. My skin hurts. It's weird as shit. My muscles in my upper back hurt so bad if I'm not hydrated with electrolytes. Also, I would recommend a few times a day, 2 or 3 times a day, eat like a half serving of fruit. I'm not talking like you don't have to eat a big bowl of fruit. I'm talking like half an apple, a couple of apple slices, grab them out of the fridge and go. It keeps the glucose up and it'll make sure your glycogen stores are better. Because if your body's always fighting, you don't want it to eat the tissue, right? You want it to eat the food. So that's where that maintenance, the maintenance seesaw comes in, right? We are never steady state as human beings. We are biological, biochemical systems with lots of hormones, lots of factors. So we've got to figure it out. Like, so Linda's training for guilty of no hydration. Yeah, that's probably it. You could fix it like that. Be done tomorrow. Drink 2 Body Armor Lights or a Coke. So if you don't want to do the fruit thing, do coconut water because that's got enough calories in it with the hydration. My friend Cindy does coconut water every day. Like, that's it. She actually drinks a big, huge one. And she's like 115 pounds. She's a teeny tiny little thing. Actually, I think she's the same size as me. So I need to, we're still working on the brain. We're getting there. We're getting there. But so, but really that's it. I'm sure it's glucose and hydration. But when you have to maintain, when you're maintaining, like Neil said earlier, you've got to make sure we're getting in enough calories to fuel your activity, right? So if you're going to start picking up activity levels, you've got to get quality nutrition in there. It probably is not Lindor truffles. I'm just saying. That makes my body feel like shit. It's not a way to get in your calories. Although it is tasty, it makes my body ache really badly if it's just the sugar load is too much.
So back on TikTok, Sarah was basically asking where she can get compounded. So if you're in one of our states, you can go to our website, AMS Telehealth, and kind of join us, and we can kind of maybe get you started with that. Otherwise, also in the chat is Nikki Baldwin, My Telehealth Connect, and she's everywhere but what, Pennsylvania?
Everywhere but Pennsylvania. And she will be in Pennsylvania eventually once they get their shit together. She's been working on it for 6 months. Over 6 months, probably like 9 months now. She could have had a kid in that amount of time. Her kid's like 21. She'd be like, shut your mouth. Sorry about the Lindor truffles, man. But the peppermint ones, the peppermint cookie ones. Oh, and the what are the new ones with the white Christmas cookie? Those are pretty good too.
Oh, they have Ghirardelli has a sugar cookie one.
It's the same as the truffle. I think they must be the same company.
Probably, because they're coming out with the same flavors, but
I know that flavor. I'm telling you.
But the good news is like one in the evenings, and I'm good, as opposed to like the whole bag when I'm not on GLP ones.
Like the regular bag now lasts me 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You know,
long time. Yeah.
I'm still an idiot, and some days I do like 6 of them, but you know, it's 6 of them. It's not the entire Costco bag.
Someone asked on TikTok if we write PAs, so we do. We do help with PAs. The difficulty with PAs is it matters not who writes them or who helps with them. It matters what your insurance company says. That's the difficult thing.
Yeah, they have targets that we need to hit, and so we need to ask for information, include as much information. If Dakota's still on here, she gives us lots of help there. But we have to tell them what they want to hear, and it has to be true. Oh, God. Oh, teased by Shell. I work for a major health insurer. How can I get them to provide anti-obesity meds to our benefit plans? Right to them, I guess. I'm terrible with this. I am not the person to probably contact on TikTok for this. There are lots of TikTok weight loss doc in this Manjaro space. Check DMF Kim on Manjaro. What the hell? Is that still her name? Why do I not know this? It's DMF Kim. It might be on Zepbound now, but whatever. The point is, check her stuff. She will tell you. She's a huge advocate. She'll tell you exactly who to write to. Yeah, really, it's trying to. It's moving the Titanic, right? It's very very slow turns. That's why we try to keep a smaller boat, because we actually can enact change. But legislative change is an entirely different ballgame. The problem is most private insurers follow Medicare, Medicaid. And if Medicare were to cover anti-obesity medications for everyone who needs it across the country, it would crash the entire healthcare system. There's not enough money for it, unless they lower the price of the meds. So, and Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk can charge whatever the hell they want because they work. So.
Leave a through in there. DMF Kim on Manjaro Zepbound.
Oh, okay. So she's both. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
So she did both. Perfect. I gained 20 pounds in about 6 months. I have no idea why. You're eating more than your body's burning. Period. Let me start at the top, right? Now the question is why? Is your body burning less? Are we eating more? Is there an emotional component, a stress component, cortisol hormone bullshit, menopause bullshit? I mean, it's reality, right? Or is your thyroid out of whack? Again, hormones, right? And unfortunately, once we gain the weight, excess fat becomes its own endocrine organ. And most Americans run high on the fat scale anyway, because we have accepted a much higher level of adiposity than is healthy. Okay. You can say the BMI is crap, but I can say I hate electricity too, but I still turn the light switch on. The BMI is not the end all be all of your body composition, but it is a very good indicator for the vast majority of people, because most of us are not Arnold Schwarzenegger, and most of us aren't Neil, that have a whole bunch of body excess muscle, right? There ain't no excess muscle here, right? We got these little noodle arms. But once we hit that excess adipose tissue, and I don't know what the body fat percentage is. My guess it's probably, honestly, around 25%. I think it starts tipping the scale into becoming its own freaking out of whack endocrine organ. I need to look that up and see if there's studies on that. But my gut, from what I've seen in this is anecdotal, right? N of one. But I think it's probably around 25%. Once you start tipping that 25% body fat scale for females, this is not about males. Was it your dog or mine?
It's mine.
Okay. I'm like, I just heard it.
From the window.
I'm like, is that mine? Okay, just checking. Great, perfect. But once it hits that, it becomes excruciatingly hard, and it's a perpetuating cycle because your body can't register satiety, right? So, and that's all gut hormones, brain hormones, connection between the two. Your body can no longer recognize when you're full. It tells you you're hungry all the time. You get food noise, which gets worse, and then you eat more food, and it builds on itself, and you will just once we fall off that cliff, it's really, really hard to climb back up on your own. And eat less, move more almost never works. We need some sort of metabolic help. That might have been the best explanation I've ever had for that. Wish I would have recorded this.
We do. I mean, those meds. I mean, yes, we feel the appetite suppression, the full stomach for longer, but they're doing a whole lot of stuff inside that we just don't feel. That's kind of like you're saying, repairing stuff that's going on, making you use your what you've eaten a lot more efficiently, your fat more efficiently.
Right. I heard it someplace this morning. I don't know where the hell. Oh, you know what? I was uploading a TikTok because I'm like, where would I have heard this? I watched TikTok for long enough to upload my videos, and somebody was talking about how, oh shit! Now I lost my train of thought. Shit, because I was reading the comments. What the hell were we talking about? Totally lost it. We all lost it.
All the good that the medications are doing on the inside, not just
yes,
repairing a bunch of metabolic things, as well as helping keep us full. And
I got it. She's talking about how somebody in maintenance was saying how surprised they are. Nope, I was talking to Amanda this morning about one of her patients that she had a video visit with, and Amanda's one of our other NPs in the practice. That when she was 30 pounds heavier, 40 pounds heavier, she couldn't change her freaking weight to go down. Period. Now she's shocked at what she can eat, right? I call them dietary indiscretions, aka truffles and Ghirardelli chocolates. Let's be serious. And my body still is metabolically able to process the food. Yes, my joints ache, right? But I have to change my diet quality to change the joint aches. I'm not gaining weight. Again, this is where lifestyle medicine comes in, high level health and wellness comes in. It's not about the weight loss anymore. It's about, I don't like my elbow pain. My elbows are miserable. I feel like an old lady with arthritis. Or my grandmother who had arthritis because her joints always ached. I seriously wonder. I mean, I've had x-rays. I've had all kinds of shit done. Nothing ever shows up. My bones are pristine. The joints surfaces are pristine. When my joints ache, it's because of inflammation, right? So I wonder if my grandma was the same. Okay. Let's see. I don't know what's happening on the inside. Like I don't, or like it's not in the studies, or we can't see it.
I think it's more like
I see it. Yeah, yeah. We don't know what the hell's happening. There's a lot of shit going on in there.
It is, with glucose and insulin and glucagon, all that stuff. You don't feel that stuff.
Mm-mm. No, you don't feel it at all. You see the effects and or feel the effects, but again, it's a huge cascade. I love this. So you can be stressed and gain more weight. Yes.
Yeah, cortisol makes it just about impossible to lose weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and Courtney and I have known this for a long, long time, and cortisol isn't just for mental stress. Training for an Ironman, we have females, when I used to coach triathlon religiously, I would have females that would gain, sometimes me, 30 pounds training for an Ironman, working out 20 extra hours a week, 15 extra hours a week, gaining 30 pounds throughout 6 months, which isn't much, right? You think about it. I gained 5 pounds in a week, but just that's neither here nor there because of cortisol. Like I look back to when I was lean, and I was lean. My body fat was actually, it said as bioelectric impedance, but with calipers, it was a little bit less. But I think it was probably midsection, I'm guessing. Anyway, but I was puffy in the face, and you could see the difference with the cortisol face when I was training for Ironman versus now. So yeah, stress does a number on you. Our 4 big rocks for improving your effect, even on GLP-1s, right? Or even if you're doing the eat less, move more, maintain, whatever, or try to lose, whatever, same principles, right? Make sure your sleep's on point. 7 hours or more restorative sleep. Where are we? We have 6 more minutes. Okay, 5 more minutes. On YouTube, at least. Sleep, stress, hydration, and protein. Calories king though, right? You've got to be able to balance the seesaw. So, and I know people say calories don't matter. Well, they do matter. They do matter, and you can eat more volume if you eat more protein because it takes your body more energy to burn protein. So again, it's not an easy equation like that.
Someone commented that they're in the gym a lot. Dr. Mo and I can attest to you cannot outrun your fork. I tried for decades, and I could run really far.
Right.
But I could also eat a lot.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. After my hysterectomy, I can't lose the weight. I'm not sure it's necessarily, depending on if they took your ovaries or not. See, I couldn't tell because I got my uterus ripped out, but I always make it sound so pleasant. It was not pleasant. It was worse than my C-section. But
no, you can't. I met with someone the other day who. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Who was working out 3 times a day, like 6 days a week. Like she'd get up every day and do like at least 30 minutes of cardio. Would walk on her lunch break instead of whatever, and then after work she would go lift weights. 6 days a week. Still couldn't lose weight.
I mean, come on. Okay. The thing is, so do you remember the times, Courtney, when, and Neil for that matter, probably bitched to you too. I mean, I would be like freaking religious, 1,600 calories a day, weeks on end. I mean, I remember the one, like, I didn't make a mistake. I don't know how the hell I pulled that off either, because I can't do that anymore. But I did not make a mistake for 6 weeks, 1,600 calories or less a day. Didn't lose a pound. Well, when I started on the GLP-1s, I realized exactly what it was going to take for my body to tip into that using the excess fat. It was way the hell lower than 1,600.
Yeah.
And now I can eat way more than that now because we're feeding, and I did lose about 5% of my loss was muscle, was lean body mass. You're going to lose some, except it is about 25%. Mine was like 28%. So not terrible, even though I barely worked out. What can I take over the counter? Oh, gotta go. You're welcome. Oh yeah, I do. I know we're gonna probably keep going on TikTok because I got 2.5 minutes on YouTube. I have 4 kids. I need so much help. Yeah. I have 1 and a lot.
I don't know that there's really anything over the counter, honestly.
Well, if there was, it would have worked, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I read an article yesterday on Sam Inkinen's Ozempic alternative startup that they charge people $249 a month because who wants to be on a medication for the rest of your life? I'm like, well, who wants to pay you $250, Sammy? That's the whole point. And they say, well, we're going to make Ozempic obsolete. I'm like, but your company's 8 years old. So if it was going to make it obsolete, wouldn't it have done it already? And I have a ton of respect for Sam Inkinen, to say the least. But I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, if it worked, then why didn't it work? Like, it doesn't work. We need metabolic repair for what the abuse we have put our bodies under for decades. I mean, maybe the kids growing up, which brings me to the pediatrics thing. Maybe the next generation of kids with these in their arsenal, we're going to see a very different population. But Ozempic is approved down to age 12.
12.
Saxenda is approved down to 16. Is that right? For weight loss, I think. But yeah, anyway, bottom line is yes, they are being approved in the pediatric population. Well, the American Academy of Pediatrics can recommend bariatric surgery as young as 6 years old. So that's actually the current recommendation now. So my thought process is please do not cut out half your kid's stomach. Maybe try a medication first. That's reversible.
Wow.
Now, they also made those recommendations because, it's like turning the Titanic. You got to do lobbyists and all that shit. But they made the recommendations before we had these success drugs behind us. So I'm hoping that those will change over the next few years. But please don't operate on your 6-year-old, a prepubescent female.
It's 12. I'll give you another take. I'm hoping that, like, with parents using these drugs, to kind of like, making better choices. They make better choices for their children and food choices, and then the kids just lose, go down better paths, make better choices.
Right. And don't have these brain pathways that are, we have 8 seconds, 7 seconds. All right. So goodbye to everybody on Facebook.